So after going through this exact process I'm gonna bring to you and seeing the change, literally it was a breakthrough that an individual had, and then those that were a part of it as well were blown away and came back, and the feedback was so good. I thought, I want to put this out there. I want people to be able to go through this process to change. It's going to be a little bit of a long one, so brace yourself, turn off your cell phone, close the other tabs, grab a notebook, because we gonna do some digging. I call this shaping emotions. Have you ever been a victim of your emotional state, of going, I wish it was different, but recognizing, wait a minute, I wish I felt different. What if I could choose to feel different, of what that might lead to? That's why I created this group, and I wish I could take accountability for it and go, oh, it's a brainchild of me. Man, I'm not that smart. Literally, from all the mentors I've had, coaches, I've pulled a few questions here, a few questions here, and pulled from a lot of different people and just kind of put them together for what worked for me. And that's why I've been sharing it, to see if maybe I'm not alone and it's really resonating. But here we go. So it's 15 questions, and I'm gonna give you some examples too, but the goal is to not let your emotions control you. The goal is that your emotions serve you. I like to think of it as, it's like a dashboard light in a car. When you're driving and you know, oil level low comes on, it's not, oh my gosh, we're all gonna die, and you look for stuff to crash. You go, oh, next time I pull over, I'm gonna have to check my oil. Or if it's, you know, check engine light, well then you might want to pull over and go, okay, this one's a little bit more serious. Let me get someone out here that knows what they're doing, and we can take a look to make sure we're safe. Emotions are the same way for us internally. And so by understanding them, feeling them, and then letting them go, we can pull lessons from them and use them to benefit us. This work is so stinking powerful. That's why I want to share it. So here's question number one. I'm hoping you write this down. What has triggered me to feel whatever emotion I'm feeling, where I'm angry, resentful, taken advantage of, mad, hurt, whatever? And so I'm gonna give you actually 2 examples. So I'm gonna do example 1, and we're gonna keep running that through all 15 questions, and example 2, but this will better help you understand of how to kind of phrase these questions. But so question 1, what has triggered me to feel this? So example 1 is, my friend triggered me and I felt angry because I found out that they've been lying to me. So example 1 is, they found out their friend's been lying to them, and they've been able to identify, notice the phrasing already. My friend triggered me and I feel angry because I found out they've been lying to me. Not they make me angry, but identifying, oh, here's the trigger, here's what happened, and here's the emotion that I've allowed to get triggered. We're already changing the way we look at emotions. Number 2, and this one's more serious, individual says, I don't want to live anymore. I'm looking at a prison sentence and there's so much unknowns to go into this. I just don't want to live. I want to go use, and literally I'd rather be dead. That's how serious some of this stuff is. The way, I don't know if you've ever felt like that. I actually have. And why this stuff is so important and so heavy, because it actually helps us recognize that this is an emotional state and helps us get to resolution. So I promise this, so far everyone we've gone over this with has come to a resolution and got what we call the payday at the end. Meaning they go through, it's tough, it sucks, but they stuck with it, and at the end they go, oh my gosh, like in this case, this gentleman went, I've had a breakthrough, I no longer feel this way. But I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse and do a spoiler alert. So that's just question 1. Question 2 is, why is this important to me? So example 1 is gonna be, well, this is important to me because friends shouldn't lie to each other. See how we're already framing these expectations. Friends shouldn't lie to another. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, but what I'm saying is we're starting to find out the why behind that emotion. Example number 2 is because of the unknown. It's too scary, and it's totally screwing with my head. So that is the why, that's number 2. Number 3, if I could say or do whatever I wanted to the person or situation with no recourse, what would I do? So here's where we get to kind of reach in and go, oh yeah, it's vengeance time. Example 1, the guy goes, you know what, screw you, you have no respect and you're an idiot. Friends are supposed to be honest, you're not my friend. Person number 2 goes, I just want to disappear and go use. You can see how one externally projects, the other internally kind of implodes and shies away. This is why these 2 examples are fantastic. So the question, if I could say or do whatever I wanted to the person or situation with no recourse, what would I do? Question number 4. If I could force them to do what I want, what would I have them do? So person 1 over here goes, you know what, I would force them, they would have to be honest to me all the time, no matter what. Person number 2 goes, you know what, the justice system would let me off. No consequence, nothing, would just let me go. Notice how we're starting to get to the core and we're only 4 questions in. Question number 5, what story have I created surrounding this event and how is it harming me? I'm gonna ask that again. So what story have I created around the event and how is it harming me? There's a reason why we frame it this way, but let's stick with the examples. So example 1 is the framing in the story is my friend doesn't care about me and holds information from me. I can't trust them anymore. Now we're starting to see the viewpoints that is shaping our reality, our perception. And so example number 2 over here is everybody is out to get me. I don't know if you've ever felt like that before, but that is powerful, powerful stuff. It starts to bring to the forefront what our story is and why we've developed this. Instead of just feeling this way and gut reaction, by asking these questions, we go a little bit deeper. So that's question number 5. What story have I created surrounding this event and how is it harming me? Question number 6. What feelings have I discovered surrounding this version of the story? Again, what feelings have I discovered surrounding this version of the story? Now we're actually getting to the feelings part. Example A is, my friends hurt me and I'm not trustworthy, and nor are they. So the feeling is of hurt. Person number 2, I'm afraid and scared. So fear is defining this person's reality, while hurt is defining this person's reality. Remember, these so far are just feelings from stories that have been internally attached to the situation. So let's keep moving on. Let's get a little deeper. Is there a stress-free reason to hold on to this old story? Is that not a great question? I remember the first time I read this and doing my work and going, wait a minute, is there a stress-free reason? Because at first it's like, yes, I'm gonna hold on to the story, but when I'm thinking stress-free, no, I mean, even just thinking about it, I get all tightened up. I don't like living in this uptight way. So going to example 1, the individual goes, no, I'm pissed, but actually I'm really hurt. I'm really just hurt. Person number 2 goes, no, I can't. And you know what? Maybe there's a way to either get out of this or to deal with this in a different way. So already in both cases, now we've opened that door of, could there be another way to look at this? That's all we're looking for at this point. And you can see both examples go, yeah, maybe. So from there, we go to question number 8. What is the negative impact on my life if I continue to believe this lie? So typically we already have this whole negative impact, but now we're projecting out to the future. What is the negative impact if I continue to believe this going down the line? And here's example number 1, that they're gonna keep lying to me and maybe now all my friends lie to me. Holy cow, now we're starting to see this projection to the world that we do. Example number 2 over here, that I have major anxiety and if I keep going this way, I'll go to jail for sure and probably die. Now we have some foothold to actually make some change just by changing the way we're viewing this. So we're gonna go to the next question, question number 9. What is it that I'm wanting from this situation? What is it that I'm wanting? So person 1 says, you know what? I'm wanting my friend to be honest all the time, no matter what. I want them to trust me. Person number 2 goes, I just want closure. I want certainty. I want to know. That leads us to the next question. Will the current meaning that I've attached to the story give me what I want in a healthy way? So now that we're starting to see things from kind of a different point, we can ask this. It's a little nuanced, deeper level or layer. First guy goes, oh hell no. The second guy goes, you know what? No. So now we can see the current meaning I'm attaching. There's really no hope. There's no way to look at it. And now I'm starting to see, here's why I'm feeling this way. Here's why my world is shaped the way it is. Now we can start making some change. So the next question is, what is the new story that will better serve me? So again, it doesn't mean we change what happened or what is happening. It's all we're looking at is in changing the meaning that we attach to it. So what is the new story that will better serve me? So person number one over here says, you know what? My friend may have been embarrassed and didn't want to harm our relationship, so they did the best they could with the information they had. Maybe they were actually trying to keep me from hurting. Whoa, complete different story attached now. That leads to a different outcome. Even in here and checking in with them, go, how does that story make you feel? And all of a sudden, the person started going, you know, actually, I'm appreciating this relationship now. Here's the crazy thing, nothing changed other than this person's perception or questions. So we're going over to number two. So the new story that will better serve me, this guy said, you know, I can get through this. And this is what I love. It took a little bit of coaching and a little bit of putting the little tidbits, leading them to the direction. But the question came up, how can I be happy with the unknown? Whoa, you talk about a game-changing question. How can I be happy with not knowing, with the unknown, with uncertainty? This right here is probably one of the biggest keys I see in all facets of life, from addiction and sobriety to happiness and fulfillment, is how can I find meaning to attach that even if I don't know the outcome or if I'm unsure, that I can still enjoy it or be happy or fulfilled. I got so excited when this started coming up because now you can see the change. We're almost around the bend, literally changing the way that we view a story. So here's the next and very important question. What action will I publicly declare to take that will best serve me long term? So we want to make a public declaration. Why? We're going to get there in a second, but that will change literally in a way that will serve me more long term. So person A says, you know what? It's not up to me if my friends are honest with me or not. I'm gonna ask for them to clarify in the future if for some reason I think they're not being honest or if I'm unsure. I will let my friends know that I'm hurt and stay connected instead of pulling away. Holy cow. Now, if this person chooses to internalize this type of thinking, can you imagine how every relationship from here moving forward will change radically? I'm gonna read that again because it's so powerful. It's not up to me if my friends are honest. I will ask to clarify if I'm unsure in the future, but I will let my friends know that I'm hurt and stay connected instead of pulling away. Control the controllable. I can only control from within. I can't control what other people are doing. Once I give up that control and enter this dialogue, ironically, I begin to influence them, which is really crazy. We're gonna do a whole nother series on influence and persuasion and different things, but by me owning what I can, then it gives them permission. And what we found is more often than not every time, but more often than not, that's why it's an art, not a science. More often than not, they say, you know what? I never meant to hurt you. I don't want to lie to you about this stuff. And it changes the dynamic of the relationship forever. That's just person number one. Person number two coming over here said, you know what? The action I'm gonna take, publicly declare, that's gonna serve me so much better. I'm gonna start living in the present. Because when I'm living in the future of something that may or may not happen, I am so anxious, I can't even enjoy where I am. But even just right now going through this, and he said, by asking these questions, I'm actually enjoying what it feels like to ask these different questions. So I'm gonna live in the present. Stood up and publicly declared it. It was so awesome. So now coming into the home stretch, we say, what's great about this? So remember, the first thing was my friend's lying to me, they're an a-hole. This person's saying, oh my gosh, I don't know the outcome, I'm going to jail. And now just a few questions later, we're asking, what's great about this? Now, because I've done some of the work and they did the work, they were able to actually answer this. So person number one says, you know what? I've learned that I can speak my mind and not take on other people's crap. It was like this aha moment for them. It was so awesome. I'm going, wait a minute. I can't control whether they lie or not, but I can speak my mind and not take other people's crap and actually let them know what I'm feeling. Even if they choose to disregard that or well, we won't go down that rabbit hole if they don't respect the boundary, but it's amazing. This person literally goes, oh my gosh, I just had a breakthrough. That's just person one. Person two is, I actually have unlimited choices moving forward. Just a few questions just before the series came up of, I'm trapped, I have no choices, I don't even want to live, to now recognizing from doing this work of saying, you know, I have unlimited choices. Wow. So we just got two more questions. So now that we know what's great about this, Then we can ask, what is the lesson I'm gonna ingrain and take forward with me so it becomes a part of me now, part of my journey and story that I can share with other people, that I can actually help other people, but also internalize at such a deep level that when stuff like this comes up in the future, it's okay because I now have a different, complete set of parameters of how to deal with it. So person one's lesson says, I don't have to take on other people's crap. I can actually talk about it, and if it doesn't work for me, I can start to set boundaries. I now see how much weight I put into what others think about me and how quickly I let it spin myself out of control. The issue wasn't them lying. That was just the stimulus to my core issue. The core issue for me is not feeling good enough and pulling away instead of learning, instead of leaning in to connect. I found out I'm afraid of painful conversations. Like literally this changes so deep every relationship, from significant others to friends to family. That's powerful. I want you to rewind and play that a few more times just to see the vernacular and the language that this person is starting to identify into shape that is literally changing their reality. That's just example one. Example two is, you know what? In the unknown, there are unlimited options. And he started tying unlimited options to the unknown. So now, how do I look forward to the unknown? Well, because I know since it's not known, we can choose anything. So there's unlimited options. I can choose or create whatever I want. This person literally at the end, we got one more question, but at the end and through this process went, I will change the way I view things from here on out. I had no idea I had this much control over my own perception and the meaning I attach. So that's 14. And here's the last and final question. Sum up this experience. So we're gonna go over to person A. I will no longer allow BS stories to be the focal point. I will own my own stuff and confront myself. Now I am free. And literally stood up, now I am free. It was so awesome to see what started as this anger and hurt because of someone lying, of saying, actually, I'm free because of this now. Wow. Person two over here says, you know what, no matter what, I'm gonna be okay. I've changed today. And then checking in saying, you know, when we first started this, you said you don't wanna live. Where are you right now? And it was awesome. He goes, actually, I'm excited because I'm present. And I'm excited because it doesn't matter what happens. All I have is today. And I'm gonna start choosing to make different choices. If that comes, it will, it won't, I don't know. But if it comes, I'll deal with it then. Literally, the peers stood up and started clapping. Biggest smile on the face. By asking these 15 questions, we can literally change the way we look, the way we feel, the way we look at situations, the way we feel about situations, and we no longer have to reside in this victim mentality. We can actually take the steps through and become the victor, actually shape how we want to live life and the meaning that we attach to it. I got a little passionate at times. Some people scares the hell out of other people's like, dude, right on, man. I'm hoping you take the time to write out these 15 questions and to keep them, whether in your phone or on paper, and keep them with you. And when emotions come up that you don't like or you don't want to experience, go through this. Now, it took a lot longer to explain and to give you multiple examples than it does to actually do the work. It always takes like 2, 3, 4 times the amount of time to actually explain something than it does once you get it to actually do the work. So you can do this work in about 5 to 10 minutes. Think about how it will change your day. You know what? Not just your day, your week. You know what? Not just your week, your life. I encourage you to utilize these steps. And if you found they're helpful, please share openly. Please let people know, hey, this is starting to change the way I'm thinking. I wanted to share it with you. This stuff is awesome. So that is today's lessons of how to shape our emotions.